Zach, how many do we expect to be on the call live?
Yeah, so right now we have 27 on the call live, and we have about 30 to 40 people in the mentorship, depending on how you calculate it. So anyways, guys, we're live. Thank you for joining. Today, we're answering your guys' question about, we've had a lot of you ask, what is mentorship about? And so we have Walker here to answer that question, and as well as all of the mentees. So this is actually not going to be our mentee monthly group call. This is our orientation call, but we are going to be meeting monthly to meet with you guys. So anyways, I'll kick it over to Vaughn Turner, the co-host for today. Vaughn.
Hey guys, how you doing? Glad to see everybody here.
Hello.
Awesome.
So, like Zach said, we are going to be doing this every month. So we'll go through basically what you guys can expect to get out of the mentorship program. You know, what it is, everything like that. So I noticed a lot of the same folks from the mastermind. I appreciate you guys being here as well. What we really want to do is make sure that you guys are getting as much information, as much valuable information as possible. And then for you guys that are also in the mastermind, you've already seen a little bit that we are definitely going to dive a little deeper in that. So this is going to be kind of a thing where we assess your skill set and your knowledge. So the actual surveys that we sent out, it's very important that you guys fill those out and send them back to us, because that's actually going to kind of give us a baseline of where you stand with your technological skill set, your knowledge, and the different subject matter. So, and that's kind of going to be where we base, and so Walker will know exactly where we need to go with each one of you guys. Okay. So again, I appreciate you guys being here, and I'll let Walker go ahead and get into it, and hopefully everybody will hang around and we can answer some questions later. So thanks again, guys.
All right, so why don't we hand it over to Walker and let him answer the first part of the agenda, where I think we might have to ask him to unmute.
I found the new Zoom hack today. If you hold down the space bar, it's like push to talk.
Oh, that's absolutely good.
Ah.
I did not know.
It's the only useful contribution I'm likely to make. I hope it helps.
Ray Johnson asked me to mute the 972 number, but then I realized I think that was, I think Walker's the 972 number.
That is Walker.
And you're going to get into trouble, Zach. Come on, don't do that.
I'm trying to unmute his audio.
All right, can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Hey, all right, here we go. All right, great. So, all right, so let's kind of go over what mentorship is, okay? This is an idea that Zach and I have been talking about for more than a year, and here's the general idea. Our goal for mentorship is we have been wanting to create an army of like-minded people. That's basically what we've been. That's our goal with digital media. It's been our goal with our strategic partnerships. It's been our goal across the board. Is we're basically trying to create an army of people who think the way we do and attack projects the way we do, right? Because if you look at Intellic's mission, our mission is to help save and create middle-class jobs in the United States. That's our goal, right? We want to help save and create the middle class, and we're going to do that by helping manufacturers do more with less by leveraging technology, right? And I know it's counterintuitive, but trust me, it does create jobs. It saves jobs and creates jobs. So what mentorship is it's for you, it's the opportunity to advance your professional career and your knowledge base of Industry 4.0, all the methodologies and the approaches that we take. That's what you guys will get out of it at the end of the day. Okay, you're going to learn. You're literally, mentorship is going through the exact same type of training that our engineers go through. It's not the same type. It is literally the same training. Okay. And why I had said to Zach, I would love to, just have everybody go through our step training. So we have a 3-step training. Okay. Step 1, all of the training is really focused on UI, backend, and scripting. Now, those are really the three modules of each step. Okay. Step 1 training takes a few months. It's not, the fastest engineer we've ever had complete it was actually Ray, who's on this call. And I think Ray did it in like a month, right? Ray, you completed your step 1 in a month?
Yeah, somewhere in that general vicinity, yes.
Okay. But we have engineers that it's taken 6 months to complete. Okay. So what's going to happen is for the engineers, or for everybody, sales engineers, business development people, everyone's going to start step 1 training a week from Monday, and you're going to progress at your own pace. It takes a few months. It's not, the fastest engineer we've ever. Yeah, and you're going to progress at your own pace. Okay. What you're going to get is a training deck that tells you what you need to do in order, which trainings to take, where to go get those trainings, okay, and where to complete them, and who to submit the completions to. At the end of the step 1, there is a practical, okay, and that practical lays out, okay, you're going to build an application. That application is going to be built in Ignition. That application is going to leverage all the stuff that you learned during step 1. So there's some SQL Server training, there's MySQL, there's Python scripting. So Python 2 is the training you're going to be going through. People ask the question, why are we doing Python 2 and Python 3, not Python 3? The answer is because Ignition's Python scripting scripting language is Python 2.7, which is based on Python 2. So that's why we have you go through the Python 2 training. Even if you're a business development person, you need to go through this training. And the reason why you're going to learn the technical skills you need. But the reason why is you're going to understand from a business development perspective, the skill sets needed to develop IIoT applications. Okay. Everything that we focus on is IIoT related and Industry 4.0 related. Okay. So what's going to happen is a week from Monday, everyone is going to get their training deck. Okay. And we ask you a couple things we need you to do. There's a skills assessment that we've asked everyone to fill out. That skill assessment is going to go into a matrix for us so that when you have specific questions, whether you're asking a question in the mentorship channels or whether you're reaching out to us directly, we can consult your skills matrix before we answer. Okay, so if you're a business development person who rates themselves a 1 out of 5 on all of the skills categories, we are going to answer a question much differently than we are for someone who says, I'm a 5 out of 5 on the automation side, a 3 out of 5 on software, and a 1 out of 5 on the back end. We want to be able to cater the answer to where you fall on the spectrum. Okay. So it's very important everyone fill out that skills assessment. All right. What is it you're going to receive from the mentorship program? All right. Number 1, you're going to go through our step training. So you're going to go through, depending upon how long you stay in mentorship, you're going to go through step 1, and you're going to go through step 2, which focuses, again, it's more advanced. Step 1 is pretty basic. So there are some people who already have advanced SQL skills, both MySQL and SQL Server. You may be an advanced Python developer. You may already be credentialed in Ignition. If you're credentialed in Ignition already, then all you got to do is submit your credential. You don't have to go and complete that. If you're an advanced Python developer, instead of taking the basic Python 2 course, we're going to ask you to take the advanced as part of the step 1 training. So the training is also flexible. There are verticals you absolutely have to complete, but the training is flexible. So Same thing with our engineers. We tell it when the engineers get the deck, they know, okay, if I'm already advanced in this vertical, then I can do more advanced training, but they're still going to do training in that vertical. Okay. Number two, what you're going to get is once a month, we're going to do a live stream. This is not the once a month live stream. We're going to do a live stream once a month that is a private live stream. So just for the mentees. The group, the mentee group, is really going to drive what we're going to cover. We know what the structure of that live stream is going to be, but the topic of that live stream is going to be driven by the group. Okay. So that may be, hey, there are several questions that get answered during the month, get asked during the month in the private Discord channel. And we may decide, hey, that's a great topic for us to cover in the mentorship live stream. Okay. And those will all be private. Also, we have the private Discord chat. So that is, and you know, why is that valuable? Number one, it's not public to anyone. We know who's in the private chat. We do not know who is in the public chat. The public chat is the entire community. We don't have, if you have the link to the Discord, you can join the Discord server because we believe in open source development. We believe in building open source communities, but we also realize that there are business considerations that go into some of the topics that we want to discuss, and some of the stuff needs to be private. So we have a private Discord channel, and what that private Discord channel is it's the point of entry for us to communicate to all mentees at the same time. Hey guys, there was a question of the day that was posted today that we really want all the mentees to answer. Okay. Or, hey, mentees, we may want to move the live stream. We may want to coordinate. You're going to coordinate through Discord. The other thing is, if you ask a question in the mentorship channels, you guarantee that question is going to get answered, and it's going to be answered by me. Yeah.
I'll show you that channel here in a second. I'll share my screen and show you where these channels are that we're talking about, and right after Walker's done talking.
So I can't answer every question. There are times where people are asking questions in the public Discord and tagging me, and it just falls off the list and I don't get it answered. I want to answer every question, but that it's not realistic. It's not feasible. Everything that's in the mentorship channel, the mentorship channels, will be answered by someone from our team. Most likely me. You may ask a question where it's more appropriate for Michael to answer, or for Ray to answer, or Vaughn, or Zach, or one of our other engineers. But it will be someone absolutely answering your question without a doubt. And the last thing you get is you get direct private access to our resources, the people on our team. If you have technical questions about something you're working on, we will be answering those questions for you. Because again, at the end of the day, our goal is, hire every engineer. Yeah, I mean, if we were only developing engineers we were going to hire, we would have a much smaller impact on the community than if we create this mentorship program and we basically train people even we're not going to hire, and we show them how we achieve results. I mean, in fact, and here is a good example. Today I had myself and Michael, one of our other engineers, had a call with one of our big clients, and we've been working with them for a few months, and we're doing a roadmap. We're basically assessing their entire enterprise. This is it's a huge company, and I presented during that presentation what is known as the concept called the single point of entry. It's a development concept in enterprise IIoT applications called single point of entry. Has everybody heard of that before? The concept of single point of entry?
I've not.
New to me.
Okay.
No,
all right. So single point.
Oh.
So single point of entry is a development concept where, when developing IIoT applications, we make no assumptions about how data will be consumed. Number one, but number two, we create a framework so that consumers in an ecosystem have a single point of entry to get any piece of information they want about the business, the process, the operation, the operation or the equipment through a single point of entry. So this could be, we use lots of different tools, right? I may have 12 different applications, software applications creating information from data. The concept of the single point of entry is I only have one place that I go to get that information. That's single point of entry. Some companies call it, this particular customer calls it a single pane of glass, but it's single point of entry. And I presented to them today exactly how we make that a reality. We showed them an example. And these are very, very smart people. And the light bulb went on all at once when I presented that today. It's those types of things that we'll be talking about with you guys. That, we don't think that we're smarter than anybody else that we're mentoring. What we believe is that we're taking a different approach and we have different experience. What we ask at the same time is for the members of the mentorship group, and a lot of people are doing a good job of this, especially Mario, by the way. I want to give a big shout out to Mario, but that you guys also have unique experiences, and you have unique experience and you have unique skill sets that we also want you to contribute to the program, to the mentorship program, right? One of the big things that you may notice about the Discord server, right, is now that we have it, it's pretty hard to imagine not having it every day opened up and, having access to that community, right? And we've only had it for a few weeks. But for many people, it has fundamentally changed the way they do their job. We expect mentorship to do the exact same thing, with the caveat that every person who's a member of that program is going to go through the training that every one of our engineers goes through. Okay, Zach, let me see. I want to make sure I touched on everything I wanted to cover. Hey, Vaughn, was there anything I wanted to do that I didn't hit there? Hold on a second. Yeah, we wanted to do assessment, Discord, 1 hour live sessions. Oh, so when we do the 1 hour live streams, gang, we're probably going to we'll have some ideas for what we want to cover in that live stream each month. But we're also going to be soliciting ideas. Okay. So I want it to be more technical. So generally for the public content, we generally don't get very technical because we're trying to appeal to a very broad audience. And we want to speak to executives the same way we're speaking to engineers in our public content. Mentorship is meant more for not just the technical people, but like your sales engineers. So it's still meant for more like business development, but it's really meant more for people who are trying to sell and develop IIoT and Industry 4.0 applications internally and externally. That's what mentorship is really meant for. But when you come out on the other side, think of it this way. I am a graduate of this mentorship program, and graduating from that program means something. It means that I checked off a whole series of boxes, and this group is confirming that I have what it takes to develop like they do, develop projects the way that they do. That's what you get it when it comes out at the other end. Okay?
Right. And once,
all right, before I turn it over to Zach, does anybody have any questions?
I have one here. Thinking of it like a program, how long is it supposed to take for this to accomplish this, as you mentioned in the end?
So step one is going to take somewhere between, let's say, 30 and 90 days for everybody. Okay, we're going to have people go way ahead of everyone else and be done after 30 days. I don't expect that to be the norm. And it's probably going to take, say, 3 months for, other people. Our goal will be to complete step one in the first 90 days. And it'll take about 90 days to complete step two. And step three is much more in depth. It'll take, it could take as long as 6 months to get done with step three. But the goal will be you will have tangible development. That is, I have developed as an individual tangibly. You'll be able to measure that after the first 90 days. You'll be able to measure further development after the next 90 days. And you'll be able to, you'll have, you should be a completely different developer by the time you're done with step 3. I mean, all the light bulbs should be turned on and you should be hitting the ground running in terms of, we could just pluck you off the street and make you an engineer on one of our projects is where you should be at the end of step 3. Now, not everybody's got to go through all 3 steps. You can decide, hey, you know what? Step 1's enough for me. I don't need to do all 3 steps. Or maybe step 1 and 2 is enough for me. But think of it this way. The first 2 steps should take about 90 days each. That's with, I would say, 6 to 8 hours of commitment per week, maybe 4 to 6 hours of commitment per week.
Question, is it late to add another mentee into the program? I have one of our guys, now that I'm understanding what this really is about, this would be excellent for him. Really, really good program.
Yes, and Zach and Vaughn, well, actually, I'm not even, Zach and Vaughn are in charge of like how many, my understanding is yes, we are not, this is the last presentation where people are going to have a chance to join. And that's my understanding. Is that right, Zach?
At least initially, we're going to close down registration. And anyone that's signed in for the program will be, locked in and grandfathered in at the current subscription rate. Or if you were part of the mentor or the mastermind, you have a 1-year subscription. But, in addition to going through your 3-step training and actually being able to apply for graduation through the program, which will actually mean something, like we're going to actually let us know if you guys would be interested in this, but we think it'd be cool to have like actual graduation ceremonies where we recognize you for your hard work and sticking with going through the program, and also just kind of give you an opportunity to help get your message out there and open up more opportunities for you guys. But what I was saying was, in addition to getting your credential or getting your degree, it's going to be ongoing training, ongoing support. It's a community. So, and Vaughn and I are here to help you guys. If you guys need any like help, all right, where do I go next? I'm stuck here at this lesson. That's where Vaughn and I are here to help you guys with that. And I'll show you guys the Discord here right now where, that's part of one of the main benefits is that private Discord group.
The other thing I want to chime in here is that there is a curriculum for the mentorship program. That is, we have a curriculum that everyone's going to be going through. That curriculum is not limited to just engineers. Okay, the curriculum it's really meant for it's really meant for sales engineers, and business development. That's really who it's meant for. But also an important component of mentorship is us helping you with what you need. So there's a curriculum, but then there's also a part where we want to answer your questions. I was one of the guys that's in the group. I participated in a sales call for him and his team on Monday morning early, and they did their normal sales pitch, and then they handed it to me, and then they got a chance to see how I quote unquote sell digital transformation, how I talk about it from a technical perspective, how I speak about the value. Those types of things are also available to the mentees. Now, as long as the level of effort for myself is, I'm not making a huge commitment, right? I obviously can't do that for hundreds and hundreds of people, but part of the mentorship is I want to make my team available to you for support and answering questions, much in the same way that I am available to my team to answer their questions. I hope that comes out right. I hope that people understand what I'm getting at there. Yes, there's a curriculum, but there's also this other component where we're filling in the gaps for you. Sometimes it's, some people are going to get it right away, and some people it's going to take longer for. And those people who it takes longer for, they may need to ask more questions than someone who doesn't, or who gets it right away. Any other questions?
Just one more. So when will be another group of this? Like if some of my friends missed this one, when will they have the opportunity again? Next year?
So that's a good, that's a good question. The answer is, and we have not decided yet. We talked about this internally. When will we allow the next group to sign up? I can tell you that it won't be before this group completes step 1. I know that. Where we will, but it might be as this group completes step 1. We may start the next group. So what we may end up having is 3 mentorship groups at any given time. 1 in step 1, 1 in step 2, 1 in step 3. Or we may end up deciding, all right, man, it's a much bigger commitment than we thought it was. And therefore, let's wait until this group, you guys, complete step 2, and before we bring in the next group. But the answer is it'll be 3 to 6 months before the next group starts.
Yeah, the answer is we're going to definitely going to scale the reach and impact of the group. And that you guys are getting in at the beginning are going to get in at like the best price. Like I'm thinking the price is going to be anywhere from $50 to $100 a month going forward when we open it back up, because we'll have it more clearly defined what the value is. And, it's going to continue to get more valuable over time. So let's go into the Discord right now, and I'll just share it real quickly. So here's the Discord. And
hey Zach, real quick, I just want us to ask one last time if there's any questions, and if there are none, then let's move forward.
I had a quick question, but it was a single point of entry for the customer for information. Is that also as a point of contact also?
A single point of contact, single point of entry.
Like
what do you?
Your organization, when you have one customer, is that customer really going through just one of your people as so that person can stay concurrent with the customer's thoughts? So you're not touching across random people. So anyway, Zach or Yvonne can explain the single point of entry a little bit later to me, just a bit more. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'll do is, this is a perfect example. Obviously Discord is amazing tool. It's, you can join many servers over here on the left, which I have. But here we have the Industry 4.0 Discord. When you first join, everyone gets shown, who's joining here in the welcome. And if you'll look, you'll actually see every day we have people that are joining. We have a set of rules, which everyone here hopefully has read those, but basically it's serving our mission, helping connect our community together, no active business development or unsolicited business development. Now, if it's natural or organic, business development obviously happens in the Discord. So announcements, here's where we have announced updates for the mentorship or mastermind events. Thumbs up before, let us know in the chat if you guys were at the ICC virtual event this week. That was pretty cool. So they actually had a Discord over here. This is their ICC Discord. So that was cool, to see that they also created a Discord. But moving on here, we have a content feed. This is where you can stay up to date on all of our YouTube content. And then last but not least, under the informational section, we have an area where anyone new to the Discord can just give a little blurb about themselves. And this is cool to just kind of scroll through and, meet people. And what's really cool about Discord is you can just simply open up a private chat and, say hello. So, feel free to make friends here and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so there's the general chats, and also we have a few chats down. This is kind of going into the chat section. We have the general chat. We have an area for links. So if you want to share, you post content, feel free to share it in the YouTube link or the LinkedIn link section. And then we kind of move more into the technical topics, Industry 4.0, IIoT, historian. You guys get the idea. We have another section down here for the automation stack, but all the way down here at the bottom, I put it down here at the bottom because, anyone who's publicly joining the Discord, this is, the channels that are more pertinent to them. But, we're down here in the mentorship program. So if you guys do not have the mentee role, send me a DM on Discord. Just reach out to me on, right here at Zach Scriven, send me a DM and I can add you the role, which will give you access to this mentorship program channel. So here we have just mentee general chat, but I want to highlight specifically mentee questions. This is where if you have a burning question that you need help or support with, this is the place to ask it. And this is the place that, if there's a backlog of questions that Walker has not yet had a chance to get to, these are where we're going to answer for the monthly group calls. So definitely, keep this chat right here, mentee questions. And then this mentorship program is more about actually like the program itself. If you have questions about, a particular section, you can get help there. But the questions is more like technical questions or questions for, that Walker might be able to help you with. Also, there's another section. If you've purchased the mastermind, we have a special section right there for the mastermind, but it's mostly just for updates. For the most part, anyone who purchased the mastermind is part of the mentorship program. So, the general chat or the mentee questions is where you'll get that support you're looking for.
Hey, Zach.
Yeah.
Could you please just say a little bit more about the difference between those two? I'm still a little fuzzy.
Absolutely. So the mentorship program is our mass market. We're reaching not only engineers that are early points in their careers, but, seasoned engineers that are looking to transition their career, as well as business development professionals that are looking to understand the technology at a deeper level to help sell it. That is where the mentorship really comes into play. And the mastermind is more geared towards higher level system integrators or even end users that are in the act of actually transforming their factory, where there's a high level content that's geared specifically for them. That's where that high price point comes from, is that content is specifically geared for a particular audience. Whereas the mentorship program is, we're leveraging a lot of training from, Inductive University as well as our own. So it's a different program for a different person. But
yeah, so think of it this way, and this is the way that I talk about it. Mentorship is professional development. Okay. Digital mastermind is technical development. That is that's the fundamental difference. The digital mastermind is all about how to achieve digital transformation. That's what digital mastermind is. How do you actually achieve it? Whereas mentorship is meant to give everyone the foundation, professionally develop people so that they have the base foundation, the base framework they need to be able to do digital mastermind. The reason we didn't wait to do digital mastermind, but you'll notice we asked everyone to go, if you're doing digital mastermind, make sure you've taken the IIoT mini course. Make sure that you've done this assessment. There were 4 prerequisites. In the future, we're going to be asking people to be a member of the mentorship program before they do digital mastermind, because that's the fundamental difference. One is professional development and one is technical development. Digital mastermind is geared towards specifically how do you help an organization digitally transform? What are the steps you go through? How do technology stack, technology centered versus solution centered? You're not even going to hear those terms in mentorship because that has nothing to do with your professional development.
Yeah, that helps a lot, Walker. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
If we open up the mastermind content to everyone, they would not be primed for that information. And it's, it's part of the transformational process. So that's a great question though.
But it sounds like
It's actually come up a lot. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, we're a small IoT systems integrator, and I'm looking to really push our business a lot and following your stuff. And so it sounds like maybe I ought to be looking at that, the mastermind then.
Yeah, so the recording is available now, and we are actually doing another 4-hour session with the initial same group. So by the end, once that recording is available, you'll actually have like 8 hours of mastermind content, and we're going to make that available. So, stay tuned for that.
Yeah, but Zach, Vaughn, you said that most of the members of the initial digital mastermind are on here, right?
There's a lot of them on here. Yes.
All right, so let's talk about why we're doing that. Why are we doing a second 4 hours? So that was digital mastermind step 2, right? So step 1 was the free 1 hour foundation for everybody. And step 2 was that first 4 hours. Why are we doing a second 4 hours? Here's the answer. The answer is, I've been teaching classes. My graduate work is in education. So I've studied constructivism. I was originally going to be a teacher. That's probably why I present pretty well in front of a board. But as you teach coursework, you get better at it. As you have more and more classes in front of you, you learn what resonates and what doesn't, what you need to drop, what you need to add. But I can tell you this, you never get it right on the first try. So the group that did the first digital mastermind, they're the guinea pigs. And so what we've asked, the reason we want to do a second 4 hours is we've asked everybody to fill out a survey telling us what worked and what didn't work. We formulated the questions very specifically so it'll point us to what we need to keep, what we need to drop. So we figure with the first group, it's going to take us 8 hours to give them the value that we'll be able to give in 4 hours to all future groups. That's really why we're doing it. So that first group is where we're going to get a chance to fill in the gaps in the second 4 hours. Now, in all the feedback we've gotten, all the feedback has been glowing. It's all been very, very good. I actually walked away from the first digital mastermind feeling like, yeah, we definitely need to do a second 4 hours because there's definitely things that these guys, they want that we did not touch on. But I want to strongly encourage the folks that are on here who did do the digital mastermind to fill out that survey so that we can tweak the second 4 hours is not the first 4 hours all over again. It's all new content. We're going to touch on a couple of the original concepts and principles, but it's going to be 4 hours of all new discussions. And when we do the next digital mastermind step 2 with another group, we're going to drop the things that nobody really cared about in the first 4 hours. And we're going to combine those 2 4-hour sessions into one complete session that will provide tons of value to everybody. And so I want to talk about the charging thing. If it were up to me, we'd be giving away all of this stuff for free. I would be giving away every bit of this, and we wouldn't be charging anyone anything. The problem is that this costs a lot of money. I mean, I've spent $250,000 of my own money, personal money, in the last 2 years developing this content for everybody. And my investors and board of directors are not allowing me to do that anymore. So we have to generate some revenue. We're never going to be cash flow positive on the content. That's just never going to happen. But we're just trying to generate some revenue for 2 reasons. Number 1, so that we can continue doing it. And number 2, so that we can weed out the people who are not really invested in the success of each of these initiatives. So I feel the need to explain that because for 2 years, we just gave everything away. We didn't charge it for anything. And that's the reason we're charging. And there's a lot of business people on here, and you guys understand.
I'll say this, though, that while I was editing the mastermind, that Walker, I've worked with you for, 2.5 years now. I've watched every one of your videos at least 3 times, right? When I filmed it, when I edited it, and when I posted it. So I still had like mindset shifts and breakthroughs in the mastermind. So to answer your question, yes, we're going to make it available. What I would like to do is anyone who wants to pre-order the recording now, I'd like to, get them at the same price that we sold the tickets for, $997. Because after the next 4 hours is kind of added in, I truly think that the price for the mastermind is going to be like, double, because the value is going to be there. So just send me a DM on Discord But I do want to show you guys here. This is where anyone who did purchase the mastermind will have access to the recordings. Obviously the foundation, that was our free 1-hour webinar that everyone hopefully has already seen. And then here's actual part 2. So we had a first half, steps to digital transformation. And then we kind of had an organic Q&A session. So I've broken those sessions out here so you can watch those. Those are available now. But there's also this survey down here. And so I just wanted to include the survey into Kajabi so that, into our Intellic Online Learning Center. So that way it's like, it's all right here, So you can just go to that section, fill out the survey. Please do this because anyone who went to Mastermind Part 1 last week, this is your ticket to the second half.
And thank you, Zach, for that. Before I think we've covered everything on the agenda, but I do want to add. I want to take. We've had an hour. I want to take a couple of minutes, and what I would like to do is ask the group, outside of what it is that we're going to be providing in mentorship. So what our focus is, what the curriculum is going to be. What else would you guys like to get out of mentorship? So in addition to what we're including, and I've asked Vaughn and Zach to take notes here, what other types of things would you guys like to get out of mentorship? Actually, I'd like to answer 2 questions. Number 1, now that you guys understand the commitment and, hey, this isn't a short little thing. I mean, this is going to be, at a minimum, it's going to be a 3-month commitment. At maximum, it's going to be like a year. Is that appropriate? Does that work for the group? Number 1. And number 2, what would you like to get out of it in addition to what we've outlined in the curriculum?
Yeah. Denton had, we had one person say a meet and greet at some point would be nice. Also, someone asked Stephen Tolliver on YouTube, is the group currently closed? We are still, I did write the link in the YouTube chat. So you guys can still sign up. That was kind of the intent here, is to, just make sure you guys were well informed of what you guys were signing up for. Rafi said, I'm looking to learn from your experience in selling Industry 4.0 and building a team. What you're looking for. Will your corporate take POs for the mastermind? Yeah, send me a PM.
Say that, Zach. What was that question?
They're asking for a purchase order. So send me a PM and I'll get you in touch with Tanya. We'll be able to help you with that.
Hey, Zach,
Okay.
actually, you can just send them to me and I go directly to her. So,
Okay.
So have we covered, is our curriculum covering everything that everyone wants to get out of mentorship? Or is there anything we're missing that you guys would like to see as part of mentorship? Like, one of the things I'm going to try and spend as much, what we're going to try and do is figure out a way for me to have one-on-one time with every mentee once a month. We're going to try to figure that out. Hold on a second, Zach. Hold on. We're going to try. I went through this today. Okay. And here's what I figured.
You couldn't do.
No. Well, what I figured is not everyone would take advantage of it. So, I can't do 100 people in a month, but I could feasibly do.
We lost you.
Yeah, I couldn't hear the last part.
Yeah. So here
Can you
is
guys hear me?
actually,
Can you hear me now?
I want to show you guys really quick this Ignition University group here. Oh wait, no, it's signed in.
Well, hold on a second. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Sorry, I switched over to 5G.
Are you talking
Is
about your
there anything?
coaching program? Your one-on-one
Well,
coaching
what
program?
what I'm asking is I'm not talking about coaching. 15 minutes one-on-one contact, how's things going? By the way, this is something I do with my team once a quarter. So once a quarter, I have 15-minute meetings with every single person in the organization. And it works. It's very effective. And I'd love to do that as part of mentorship if I can.
I was thinking part of the exit interview when they apply for graduation is that 15-minute with 15-minute one-on-one with you.
Understood. I know you're trying to steer me away from doing this. I get it, Zach. I'm picking up what you're. I'm picking up what you're putting down. But what I would like to ask of the group is, based on the curriculum we've laid out, is that going to work? Is the curriculum going to work, or is there something that's missing that you guys, based on your own personal expectations, that you would like to see as part of the mentorship program?
So this is John. The content you've laid out there sounds great. I know for myself, I'm actually looking to leverage this program to transition into this field. So I'm from the continuous improvement, business side of things, quality side, not from the industrial automation side. I want to leverage this program to actually transition, whether it's working first with another integrator or starting my own thing at some point. So I don't know what that would look like as far as within this program, but that's the direction I want to go. So anything that could be added in regarding career transitions, I guess, would be helpful.
Perfect. You're in the right place. And in fact, I can talk to you offline about a couple of examples of people I've already worked with to transition from CI over into Industry 4.0. In fact,
Great.
One of the guys is on the server already.
Great. Look forward to that.
Anybody
I
else?
would, just would love to kind of learn from you about how you build your team, the engineering team, and what skills you're looking for, what attitude you're looking for when you're building a team. And number two, obviously, is selling, and I really need to improve on that, and that's kind of something I'm really looking to learn.
Okay, excellent. Vaughn, you're writing these down?
Yeah, I also want to add here, for me, what is very important is also, somebody wrote there, team building. I think this is great because, for example, this is the case for some other people. I am from a small company, and there are several things that I don't have who to talk to. And Discord is incredible for that. For example, it's hard to talk to someone that just knows computer science. It's hard to talk to someone that's just an integrator. So I expect also that I can count on my peers, on you guys, sometimes for some doubts that I have about modeling, things like that.
Excellent. Actually, that's really good feedback right there. That's an angle we haven't really talked about. Yep, please go ahead.
Walker, John here. We've talked over a long period of time, and I admire the fact of what you're doing for middle-class jobs in the US. I would like to see if we could have a base plate there where we could show the benefits of what we're doing here to smaller companies, not just the US, but even my side of the pond. Rather than the big corporations per se, that's business, that's a direction, but to bring on those who are focused on making small products or making their products, but without transition, they're going to disappear. So I'd like to see if we can put a story together, not just a technical story, but something that we can bring that community along. And I'd say it's the same for the US as it would be over this side.
Excellent. That's perfect. That's great feedback, John. Thank you. In fact, I have the perfect case study, and we're going to share that. You've seen part of that project already. I know I've showed you part of it already, but it is a small company, right? It's a mom and pop manufacturer who we've digitally transformed their entire operation over the last 2 years. And that's not the reason they called us. They called us to install Kepware. And that, hey, you're a Kepware partner, come connect our equipment. And I told you that, hey, I looked at that press and I said, hey, would you let me do a proof of concept on that press? I'll even pay for it. Let me show you what's possible. And so, yes, that by the way, that's the story. That's the story. And I can tell you right now, if you take any small manufacturer and you have them talk to this client, that client takes care of everything for you. I mean, they say, listen, they've changed the way It's not us. We just had the privilege of doing it. It was digital transformation has changed the way we operate, and we've added X number of people, and we have added Y number to our bottom line in just 2 years. And now we are a state. We went from the Stone Ages to state of the art in 2 years. Is Jake on the call? Vaughn?
No, he is not.
Okay. Well, Jake, one of our engineers, he's part of that project. That's your story, John. I'm telling you, man.
I just think that there's more to just doing this job. There's more to just doing it. And I don't want to get caught up in a soapbox here, but small companies, the vast majority of people and communities make a living by these small and pops and small operations feeding into bigger organization. And any way we can sustain that as well as contributing is a big positive for me. And that's one of the things and you know this about me. It's one of the things I reached out to you on. So yeah, I think we should just formulate some structure of a story that it can be shared and bring these people along as well.
Amen. Amen, brother.
Let's go, guys. Let's go.
Okay. I got one real quick, Walker, if I could.
Yep.
So when we went to the mastermind, what I signed up for was the ability to figure out the pinch points. This isn't your first time doing it. You've got your cycle, your business you've built, and you've figured out how to present things properly. Remember, you're not really selling, that's the key, but really overcoming the resistance that you're going to find and getting almost like tech tips on how maybe to present things. And then, let's say we buy into the vision, but when you get in front of a customer, just reinforcing what's a great way to present this besides, you take it on, you say, hey, tell us how you operate today. What are your obstacles that you have currently? Then you guide them through that. So I just think reinforcing the overall team, that helps me better present the vision. Again, I'm not trying to sell, but when I'm scaling, I don't want to repeat the obstacles you've already overcome because I haven't asked you that question or thought about it. So that's one of the things I liked about the masterminds. You were able to provide those tips, even like the OPC-UA, scalability versus MQTT, some of the technical side where when you start to think about a larger scale, you're going to have issues if you go this route. So those are things that made the mastermind more than worth the money I paid for it. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Yvonne, you got that in the notes, please?
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, the goal is I think the mastermind, once people work through the foundations, they want to work their way up to that. They're at more of a level where they can leverage that information, and justify its costs and as the investment. So we got to wrap this up here because we're almost at an hour. Is there any more questions?
Here's a really silly question that I'm somehow struggling with. Discord, how to get in. I've got the downloaded set up, but how do I get into the whole thing? So I'm signed up for mentorship, but I just don't know.
I'll send you a link right now on the Zoom chat right now.
Thank you very much.
So once you're signed into Discord, all you'll do is click on our link and it'll take you to our server and add it to your account. That's what'll happen, and then you'll see that server on the left-hand side.
Cool.
And one of the things I want to do is, there's actually a voice channel in Discord. And so one of the things I was talking about Vaughn was doing was doing maybe weekly 15-minute, just pop in and see how you guys are doing. Just, if there's any questions or just kind of a check-in call. Maybe Walker won't be in it most likely, or maybe he will if he has time. But, outside of our monthly kind of more formal 1-hour calls, we can do kind of just informal Discord channel audio chats. So there's Zoom, sometimes you get zoomed out a little bit. Discord's real nice. You can just hop in the channel and just say hello and, build that community further.
All right. So if there are no other questions, thanks, Zach. If there are no other questions, I just want to button it up. So going forward, there's a couple of things. If you haven't filled out your skills assessment, please fill out the skills assessment for mentorship. If you filled it out for mastermind, it's already filled out. So, but the skills assessment is so that if I'm answering a question for somebody, I can look quickly and see where they are on the scale. Okay. and then I'll know how to answer the question or how to shape it so I can answer it. Number one. Number two, if you took Digital Mastermind and you haven't done the feedback survey, please do so, because it's really going to help us shape the content. And then the last thing is if there's anything that you want to get out of mentorship that you didn't want to ask the question publicly, please just send us a message so that we can get it into our list. We're going to try and do all of this through Discord, as opposed to like sending out huge email threads and use big chain emails and stuff. But if we decide that, hey, email is more practical, we'll do that. But we're going to try and do it all through Discord if we can. So, but please, if there's anything that you want to get out of this that we didn't cover, please send out that information. As a reminder, a week from next Monday, everyone's going to receive their training deck, and that's going to start. Next week, you guys will find out. The Zach and Vaughn will reach out to you guys about coordinating the live stream. We're going to try and get the live stream scheduled at a time when as many people globally can attend. Okay, attend it live. You guys will get information on what that first live stream is. What content we're going to cover, etc. And then you guys will get your decks a week from Monday. I would expect, if there are any questions that pop up related to mentorship or even related to just your day-to-day jobs, you're tackling a project and you got a question, or you're dabbling with you're tinkering at home or whatever, please ask that question in the mentorship channel going forward, and so that we can help. Because fundamentally what we're trying to do is change the way people think first. And to do that, we have to interact quite a bit in order to kind of rewire the way we think. And, before we get off here, I know we only got a couple minutes. I'm going to tell you something that there was a question about how do you sell digital transformation. John will tell you, John McKeon, because he's seen me do this, I do not sell digital transformation. That's not what I do in those meetings. I'm not trying to sell anything. What I'm trying to do is have I'm trying to have an organic discussion about problems. I never ask for the sale. None of that. I'm trying to have an organic discussion about problems, and I'm waiting for the point where the client says, what's the next step? That's what I'm waiting for. Because when they say that, it means the light bulb's switched in their head. They get it. They see it now. They see the potential of digital transformation. And that means that the way that they think has changed in the course of our conversation. Number one. Number two, I also asked that John didn't see me ask this question, but I do say this quite a bit. I'll go into a room full of people. It's the engineering group, and it's the quality group, and it's the plant manager, and I'll ask them, hey, who here has heard of SCADA? Who has experience with SCADA? Who's heard of SCADA? And everybody raises their hand. Maybe one person doesn't. And I go, great. Forget everything you know about SCADA. Okay? Because what I'm going to talk about here is from a completely new definition of what SCADA is. Okay? I literally do that. I say, and the reason I do that is so they will not look at today's problems and potential solutions through yesterday's prism. And that's ultimately what we're trying to achieve in mentorship, in digital mastermind, and in business development calls. It's all the same thing. We're trying to rewire the way people think, because what's possible has changed. What is possible used to be 15 years ago, anything was possible. It was always a function of time and money, but it took too much time and too much money, right? Today, with the technologies that exist and with the methodologies that we employ, you can do twice as much for a third the cost if you take the approach correctly. And that is, if you approach every project as one part of a bigger whole, you are technology driven, you build a technology stack, not a solution stack, et cetera, et cetera. And that's what this is all about. Everything we're doing is about rewiring the way people think. Okay. All right, Zach, that's everything I have, man. Do you or Vaughn have anything else? Anybody else has any questions?
I want to touch on something very quick, because I know we're out of time here. So for all the mastermind attendees here, that will be the 25th of this month. That's when we're going to reconvene for that. And then if you guys need the survey, you did not get it, just drop your name here in the chat, and Zach and I'll make sure that we get that to you.
I, for one, am incredibly excited to finally get this started, the mentorship. I'm incredibly excited. And I hope everyone who is a part of this group is as well. And I really want to thank Zach and Vaughn for all the work they've put into making this a reality.
Hey, Zach. I don't know if you can, this is Ed. I have one quick question.
Yeah, shoot.
I'm not sure if I missed it. I had to load my kids up in the car real quick. You went to the inductive automation page, and I didn't know if you were trying to show us something or if I missed it or not.
Yeah. So basically, there's a inductive university groups, and there's the email address that's associated with your inductive account. And I've invited everyone that's in the mastermind or in the mentorship group to that group, so I can see all of your guys's. It looks like many of you had already finished your credential, so it's just a way of us being able to measure your engagement in that credential.
Yeah, we'll be able to measure progress for everyone who's in step one. You also can leave that group, and when you're done with mentorship, you don't have to stay in that group. You'll be able to leave the group. It's just while you're in mentorship, we want you to join the inductive university group so that we can the admins can track progress of each individual member of mentorship on their credential.
All right, guys, thanks. And then if anyone still wants the link to get into the mastermind program, the recording is available now. So just send me a DM on Discord. And thank you guys for watching. I'm going to end the stream now.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you,
Thanks,
everyone.
everyone.
Appreciate you. See ya. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Vaughn, do you want to stick in for a second?
Yes.